pressure from him. Once he releases that for the invitation, that's my cue, right? So I'm training my reflexes here, and I'm also training feeling of the sword.
Hello, my fellow HEMA students. It's Eric Paisley coming at you again with another vlog capturing all of the happenings at our Nashville HEMA classes. This is the fall class. This is class 3, and this class featured steel swords. Very excited about showing you footage from this class. I've got some interesting lesson captures I think that you're going to find useful. I've got a new light for my camera. Still same crappy mic, but at least I don't look like I'm on a stupid Zoom call. So enjoy the footage.
So obviously the wider the arc I make, he creates the invitation. The more of a pullback I make, the more open it leaves me for a counterattack. But to have a good purposeful attack, we need a bit of an arc. So a way of dealing with that is I keep the hilt in front of me, but I pull the point back and cut in. Okay? So I need at least to make a solid cut for what we're looking for now, like a 45 degrees.
Yes, sir.
Okay, nothing like this. You might think that's fast, and it could work, but it's also quite easy for him to parry strongly and counterattack, whereas he creates that. I can, sorry if that was a bit hard, but to get the point across, it makes it a little harder for him to deal with. We want a purposeful, strong attack, go quick.
All right, I wanted to highlight a couple of fencers who I thought did a really good job illustrating the lesson that Alexander just went over. You know, the shortest path is the best path, the quick strike. I think one of the things that I'm guilty of in trying to get that distance or bridge that distance and measure is really cocking back, you know, and that's not going to cut it. You're opening yourself up for a counter, as Alexander illustrated. So let's take a look at this, and you're going to see a little bit later Alexander go over the Umschlag. When the opponent, you know, parries the blade, what happens, you know, what do we do that after that in the play? So let's take a look.
Do about 10 reps and then block rolls.
Turn back and strong to the middle, and if you were kind of
Hold that for a second, so it's not a team that Okay, let's rotate. Okay, reform ranks. Chris, Stu, yes. So different partners. Okay, we're gonna slight change of things we're working on, but it's all related. Okay, so parry and feeling. Okay, distance, timing, we're all working on it all. But think parry more. Okay, so we're both going to be involved top. And so I'm going to cut in, he parries, and we're going to stop here, okay, to start with, to talk about, okay, what we're feeling here. So you guys, we've talked about, obviously, strong, weak. Obviously, Chris, if he tried to parry with his sword too low, with his weak, he's going to be hit in the head, right? He has to get his strong, to make a strong parry, right? Okay, so this is sort of an active parry. It's, you know, he's not cutting. You know, he's points. The sword's pretty much perpendicular with the floor. He's just closing off that line of attack. So just where we were starting with long point, we were both kind of vying for the center line, right? If he's in long point, this is the center line. I could push his sword away, which would get me into the position he just had me in, opening up away, or what we were doing before is he opens it up, he invites, so the center line's open, so I take it, okay? So I'm going to take it by force this time, or I'm going to preemptively strike him, and he's going to close it with a strong parry, okay? So we have strong and we have soft parries. We've got the strong and the weak of the sword. Most people are going to parry strong, right? 10 out of 10 people, if I cut at them strongly, he's not going to parry it softly. If he knows what he's doing, he's going to parry strongly, right? So we're going to go ahead and assume he does a strong parry. If he does a really weak parry, well, I could do a lot of things, but I could easily just cut through it, right? That should be kind of obvious. We want to be strong in our structure. So when we get to this first parry, I want to feel here. What pressure is he giving me? Okay, we're going to be here, and his goal is to close, just totally close this line off. So he's pushing me aside. Okay, he's pushing, and I need to feel that and cut around properly. Okay, we practiced this before. This is a little deeper idea. Okay, so essentially what we're doing is he parries me, I cut around. Okay, but let's not just assume he does some generic parry. Let's feel what he's doing. He's doing all this in one motion, right? He's parrying it aside, but I need to feel that and leave the bind at the proper time, because essentially what we're getting into, imagine we're already here. If he's here, if he parries me but hasn't claimed the center line, I don't need to cut around, right? His sword is right in front of me. That's not safe, and it's not the smartest thing to do. I could just stab him in the face here. I can cut back at him just like we did. Only when he clearly closes off the line, gets my sword in a really disadvantageous place, and that's the time to cut around, okay? So that's a natural thing, right? So we call this an Umschlag, cut around. Just the most basic thing we do with the longsword, but there's a lot of elements here. So really what we're thinking about is the energy that he's giving my sword that makes that the right thing to do. Because it's easy to just think, oh, well, I'm just going to kind of do this as just a generic thing when attacking. But if he's just doing minimal parries and not, that's going to get me in hot water pretty fast. So it's when he gives me a strong parry and really wants to set me aside. So he could exaggerate that would be something like that, right? It should be obvious that that's no bind to stay in. That's a bind to leave and to cut around from. Okay?
So I really appreciate everyone sticking around till the end here. This was a longer video, but we had a lot of really great material to cover. We covered the straight strike with the steel sword and then the Umschlag. And if you found this useful, leave a like, and also a comment would be great. We want to do these for the class to kind of also capture the lessons, but also to kind of give you something to look back on as we progress through the classes. So again, I'll be hopefully capturing every class and offering up some lessons that we can all sort of look back on. And I will see you next week. Thanks.